San Francisco. And on 40 years of film and videotape from across America, the Bay Area's TV birthday celebration.
Yeah, it was right here that television was born, Jack. 202 Green Street.
On this site, the 21-year-old Philo T. Farnsworth, the genius of Green Street, had his laboratory.
Yeah, and it was right here in 1927 that Philo Farnsworth invented the world's first electronic television system.
But it would be another 22 years before Philo's brainchild made it into homes here in the Bay Area.
And it was May 1949 when the station that you're watching right now, KGO-TV, went on the air. And now we have broadcasts from modern studios only 2 blocks from this, the birthplace of television, Jack.
You're telling me in all those years of broadcasting, we only come 2 blocks?
Jack, come on.
Is that what you're telling me?
We're late for the party.
Tell me about the party. Don't tell me about broadcasting.
Welcome to the party. 40 magic years of Bay Area TV, featuring San Francisco's super shows and superstars. And from the television archives, moments from those programs you loved and laughed with, the personalities you grew up with, the events that were part of your life during 40 magic years. Here are your hosts, Russ Coughlin and Jack Hansen.
Thank you. Thank you.
Boy, May 1949, what was life like on that day when KGO-TV first went on the air? Here's a little 30-second refresher course for you. Harry Truman was president, Jay.
Right.
The NATO alliance was being born. Russia had not yet tested its first atomic bomb. And Preston Tucker's dream of a new automobile, the Tucker Torpedo, had collapsed.
Yeah, and Frank Fay was starring on stage at the Current Theater in Harvey, and over at the Tivoli Theater, it was vaudeville headlined by Dude Martin. You remember Dude?
Oh, Dude.
And his old Roundup Gang, the most popular movie in town, was Take Me Out to the Ball Game, starring Frank Sinatra, Gene Kelly, and Esther Williams.
And movies
one of
haven't
your favorites.
improved. A loaf of bread cost you just 15 cents. A bottle of Coke was a nickel. A new suit, not like that one, would set you back 50 bucks.
50 bucks.
A Cadillac was $5,000, and you could fill it up for 25 cents a gallon.
Still paid $50 for that one.
Yeah.
I know you did. And a television set would run you from $350 to $500. Some said this was a passing fancy, sort of a novelty, but lots of others were eager to buy one of those 8 or 10-inch models. Like the rest of America, we were fascinated.
In 1949, they were being mass-produced for the first time 100,000 a week, all made in America. At RCA, Crosley, Packard Bell, Westinghouse, Admiral, Motorola. When KGO went on the air, there were already over 5,000 sets right here in the Bay Area. KPIX had begun broadcasting just a few months before, and now, with a second local station, Channel 7, appliance dealers were predicting a bonanza in the sales of TV sets.
Of course, many of those were not in living rooms. Most people were still getting their first look at television in the neighborhood bar, or looking in the window of the corner furniture store. A family with a TV set of its own was assured of lots of company.
The king of TV was Uncle Milty, and for those of you too young to remember what a service station was really like, the guys introducing Burl are meant to represent Texaco's servicemen who washed your windshield and checked your water and oil and tires before filling your tank. All of that is now ancient history.
And there were others on their way up, including a young guy from radio named Arthur Godfrey.
What we're trying to do is see whether or not these characters here and me will make a television show.
It was something new for all of us. And as the years went along, we got only slightly more sophisticated. And one of the first really big-timers to have a regular show out of San Francisco was a singer with a very laid-back country style.
Hello, T. Pickers. Happy 84th birthday to Mrs. Gippy Williams in Bagwell, Texas. Happy birthday. Hello, T. Pickers.
Ernie may have had slow and droll country ways, but his show was often sheer insanity. And right in the middle of that bedlam was a young disc jockey who ran over from KSFO every day to be Tennessee's television sidekick.
Everybody say boo again. When the blue. Oh, Ern.
And then to recall those great days with Ernie Ford, there's another guy who's everybody's buddy.
should be dancing. But
yeah, they're better than the Ernie Ford Band.
Now, wait a minute. You started singing, is that right, on the show?
Twice I tried to sing on television, both on Channel 7, way back, 1958. I don't know if anybody remembers a show called Bright and Easy.
No.
And it turned to Bright and Early. Freddie Jorgensen, Ardeen DeCamp, and George Cerruti in the band. And one day they were going to sing the song Heart. And I was their announcer, and they wanted me to sing one line. They rehearsed me, and they rehearsed me, and they rehearsed. My line was, "You can open any door." Now, the guys in the band are not going to like this, but because I'm going to sing.
I may not like it either, Jim, but that's it.
But, you know, everybody was singing their part. Everything was perfect until they got to me, and they pointed, and I went, "You can open any door." And the band stopped playing. They fell on the floor. That was the one time. The other time, Ernie tried to get me to sing, and they all realized I couldn't carry a tune. Now, you know how that is.
Well, I know how it is, and your wife, Nancy, over there, who'll be out in a little while, said, "Oh, not the you can open any door story again." I don't know what this is. They said, "Give this to Jim Lange. He'll know what this is. It's a present for you." And, Jim, thank you very much.
Okay.
There you go.
Oh,
okay.
Beautiful. Thank you.
Russ Coughlin, you have to come on in here now because it's your turn.
I always liked his singing. I thought he was a good singer. But if Tennessee Ernie was the most laid-back performer to headline a nationwide show out of San Francisco, and his opposite number would have to be the unpredictable, completely goofy, madcap Gypsy Rose Lee.
This is hanging up behind the counter, and there stands my butcher, proudly in front of this sign. Now, I don't mind the New York, and I don't really mind the stripper, but look up in the left-hand corner. It said age.
Well, no one who saw her, and certainly no one who worked with her, will ever forget Gypsy Rose Lee. She was absolutely one of a kind.
And during the time that Gypsy was doing her show right here from the Channel 7 studios in San Francisco, her son was busy. He was serving the United States Army overseas. The last Gypsy Rose Lee show was done from here in March of 1968. Gypsy herself died in 1970. She was a victim of cancer.
But her son is here now at KGO, the entertainment reporter for Good Morning Bay Area. Let's have a nice welcome for Erik Lee Preminger. Erik?
Hey.
When you see your mother's shows like this, what kind of a reaction do you have?
Oh, listen, it's wonderful for me because I didn't see so many of them.
Yeah.
Now, you know, when I was on leave, however, I used to have to come up here and do the show with her. And, you know, they had no budget for the show at all. But they did have a suite at the Plaza that they sort of got on a trade deal. So, and she'd written me about this. Sort of a trade deal. And she had written me about this, and I was looking forward to staying at the Plaza, and we arrived, and this was when the studios were over on Golden Gate Avenue, and she checks us into this little Tenderloin hotel. I said,
is this a short story, Erik?
Yeah, it's almost over. I said, where's the suite? And she says, oh, Erik, I let my guests stay there. This is closer to the station.
I see, for you. There's a little bit of business about you that your mother also did on television. Take a look at this.
And these are the pictures taken of Erik in the hospital. And this is the bill. Circumcision, $10. Well, that's cheap enough.
Erik has promised... it shows you what you can get for $10. Is that right? Don't show us your scar, and thank you very much.
Well, listen, my mother always said one stripper in the family was enough.
That's right.
Thanks, Jack.
Thank you, Erik, very much. Come on over here.
And no show and tell either. Now, those in the television control room got a considerably different view of Gypsy than those who watched her at home. It's always that case. Now, here's one of